like one of your parents isn't Buddhist? Like, because for me, for example, my dad is actually Catholic, so I actually grew up going to church sometimes. Like, does anyone have experiences like that they want to share?
I was raised Muslim by my mom. She's Islamic, and she actually does it in the house, but she's never like pushed it on me and made me have to be it. She raised me to give any religion as taught and to be open-minded to any religion.
That's awesome. You have an awesome mom. She like didn't force it upon you, because I think a lot of the time parents, they always want to inflict their beliefs on their kids. So I'm glad that you were raised by a mom like that. That's really cool. Does anyone else want to share? Yes, Lena.
My dad was also a Christian and I was Buddhist, so I grew up going to Buddhist church and the temple all the time. So it was interesting seeing stories.
Would you say that you identify as Buddhist and Christian then, or what are your beliefs in terms of that? What do you identify as?
Usually people ask, I say both. When people are like, is that your passport or whatever, and I said it's complicated because I grew up in both, so it's kind of hard for me to choose one.
So Christianity is still a big part of your life as well?
Not as much as I did when I was younger, but more probably now. More probably now, I go to the temple a lot.
Sam, would you like to share? Sam, he took the two nephews and the Buddhist precept at the beginning of the year. And his Buddhist name is Hum Wisdom. Please welcome Sam.
I have answers to all of those questions, but I kind of didn't want to take up too much time, so I'll just stick with the last one. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of experience with other religions. My family are all kind of the more fundamentalist kind of Christians, like mostly Pentecostal, which is a really strong fundamentalist one. One of my sisters is Baptist, but that's also a fundamentalist one. I can get into the differences, but I won't waste your time just Google it. I started having strong doubts about it really when I was 12, partly just because, I was never a dinosaur kid, so it wasn't like the evolution that tripped me up like with the young earth creationism. I was a space kid, so learning about how stars and stuff are billions of years old, and my family was like, no, the world is 6,000 years old. I'm like, it's definitely not. But a lot of Christians, most sects, and even some people in those sects are still fine and can reconcile and be like, oh no, the young earth thing is just a metaphor. So I stayed with it. What really I couldn't reconcile was the idea that everyone who's not a Christian goes to hell. I just couldn't accept that, because at a young age I had friends of other religions and it just wasn't logical to me. I was like, okay, so you could save a billion people, but you're a Buddhist or a Muslim or a Hindu or atheist, you go to hell. But you kill a billion people and you're like, oh Jesus, I'm sorry, and then you go to heaven. I'm like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So before I gave it up completely, I tried some other different kinds of churches besides my parents' church, like Catholic and Orthodox and Unitarian. And I had a friend who was Muslim. I went to a couple mosques with him. I've been to the Hindu temples. Those are very pretty. I was introduced to Buddhism when I was about 16 because I had a friend whose dad was dying of cancer, and he was like an old hippie. He actually wasn't that old. It was sad. He was in his 50s, so not young, but not old. But Buddhism was one of the things that helped him deal with it as he was dying. And so he and she told me about the middle path and just the general life story of the Buddha. And that was my first introduction. I was like, that was cool. I didn't commit to it yet. I explored the other religions, and I went through that phase where I was like not just an atheist, but one of those grumpy ones that has to pick fights with religious people all the time for like a year or two. But I kept coming back to Buddhism because it made sense, and the more I learned and the more I applied, the better my life would get. You know, learning about the middle path, learning about the noble truths and the eightfold path and the precepts, and every sutra just makes sense. And like some other people said, there's no compulsion in Buddhism. Like Buddha doesn't get mad. Like if you do something bad, it's cause and effect that punishes you. It's not Buddha punishing you like in other religions. He doesn't get mad at you. I like that. And he really is just telling you, he's like, listen, what's right and wrong is basically what will cause more suffering or cause less suffering. You can do what you want, but I'm going to tell you what's going to be a good idea and what's not a good idea. And when I was younger, I didn't really listen 100%, but I listened a little. And, when I listened a little, it was helpful. And when I didn't listen, it was bad. So just gradually over the years, I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to this more and more and more until here I am.
Can you guys raise your hand if you are out of town? Out Louisville, Kentucky. If you are out Louisville, Kentucky. Two-thirds of you, about thank you, who are in state in Louisville, Kentucky. So we have only one third, actually less than one third. So unique, right? That somehow we got flew here, go down here. Right? It's not easy to have this type of group together, right? I'm so glad that we can come. Ethan, welcome back to our camp in Louisville. Please give him a big applause. Before COVID, he used to come here with his cousin, Anthony, but we missed him too. So Ethan, you're going to college soon, right?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah. And over there, right? Yeah, definitely. You have many Christian friends, Catholic friends, American friends, and so forth. What are the mission points for your life?
Missing points in my life. Well, like there isn't like a lot of like Asian people like around where I live, so it's like kind of hard to balance like my friends out. So yeah.
What do you feel about the Asian and Vietnamese route or Buddhist route? What do you feel? Is it so important, or one aspect of your life, or is one of the most important aspect of your life?
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty important to like connect with like my culture and just like people that are like from the same background as me. And it's like important to like have that side in my life.
Yeah. Thank you. You go to college soon. Next semester, right?
Yeah.
So you go there lonely.
Yeah.
And actually he's pretty smart. He remember a lot of sutras. So he came here even today too. He remember at least 2 or 3 sutras in the row. So do you think that the Asian and Buddhist root is so important in your life, or just one aspect of your life?
I think it's a very important key aspect of my life because back in Illinois, where I'm from, the Asian community is very small. Has like only one of the very few Asians there. So coming here, it's like a relief. I feel relief, and it's like I have a sense of happiness once like meeting everyone and seeing everyone once again. That's part of my personal.
All right, thank you. We have the lady there. I forgot your name. Con. Tên gì thì quên này, lớn thì quên. your name?
Yeah, completely.
Okay, B, you've been here how many years?
3 years.
3 years. She came from Vietnam as an international student. When you were in Vietnam, you visit a lot of temple or not?
I
Did
did.
you? What's the difference? You see the difference between the Vietnamese Buddhist youth over there and here? Do you see any difference? Can you share?
Yes, so different.
How? Can you explain?
Here's more.
Of course, more people. But I'm talking about the spirit. I'm talking about how much they understand about Buddhism and so forth. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, B. Thanks.
Between American.
No, too close.
What do you think?
Be nice. Be gentle. Be gentleman. Go ahead, B. Go ahead. The question is that definitely over there is many Buddhist youth, right? Of course, we here is a minority in this society. So I talk about, I don't compare the number, but I compare about the spirit and the understanding of Buddhism, how it's different. How much different can you observe? Can you see?
To me here, you Thai, you did a great job bringing the youth here, but in Vietnam, only the adults mostly, because I rarely see the youth coming to join in Vietnam. Here, have more kids to go to learn about Buddhism.
Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Siwa is our after school program director. So Han, even last few years, right, somehow you went somewhere, now you came back to our group, right? And so how do you feel? Explain how you connect with the children and the youth or our communities here back again and so forth. And how you feel about this youth, the Buddhist youth here?
It definitely has been a big part of my life because growing up Asian American, you typically don't know how to associate yourself in the society. And being defined as Buddhist at the time when everybody asks what your religion is, people typically, they've never heard of Buddhism, or they're just like, well, if you're anything different than me, then you're looked at differently. So it's really been an eye-opening experience, but now I feel like it's a lot more safe since there is a bigger change within our community. And again, Thai youth did a great job establishing everything here in our community. And I was able to be a part of that. I was able to grow up with you and watch all of this happen. And being able to represent that for my community has also been life-changing for me because I also wanted to be impactful towards my generation. I didn't have what you guys had growing up, as in like this big of a team. This is amazing. Okay, so like that just means that you're making friends and connections from everywhere. Whereas in Louisville, it was really hard to establish all of that growing up. Like there was barely anything like this. So to be honest, within our community, this is the biggest temple to even bring like the whole greater Louisville community together. Buddhism has really affected the way that I represent myself and who I am as a person. And to be a disciple of Thai is, let's just say you guys are very lucky to be here. To see everybody, to be under one roof, to learn from Thai, you guys should take this moment to learn and absorb as much as you can.
That's why I named this symbol as Buddha bless. Buddha bless us.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know really in like every community and in every religion, especially in modern times, but I think in the past, there's like a tendency for young people to not care, to be distracted by all the normal stuff like entertainment and relationships and jobs and stuff. And I mean, that's normal and that's a part of life, especially, you know, if you're always going to be a layperson. But Buddhism is so important, and it really does help you with every aspect of your life. You know, all of that stuff, all of it, that whether it's jobs or entertainment or friends or girlfriends or boyfriends, all of it's temporary. I know you don't want to think about it, but that's what the Buddha teaches us, and that's what you will definitely learn sooner or later. You know, the Buddha says, you know, you will eventually be separated from everything that you love. Either things are always changing, things are always ending, and eventually you're going to die. And it's not a fun thing to think about, but once you absorb it, it helps you not be sad, it helps you appreciate what you have and make the most of what you have, and control how you feel when those changes happen. So I think there's nothing better than for young people to get into this, because yeah, it's so easy to just do all the normal stuff everyone does, and I'm sure everyone will do it to some extent, but the more that you can engage with Buddhism and with the Buddhist community and learn from the monks, the more it will benefit your life, whatever you decide to do. So I'm very proud of all of you that you turn out, come around, and get involved even just a little bit, and the more, the better.
Thank you. Your name, sorry, your name? No,
Sabrina.
not you.
Alexis.
Alexa. So you are going to be senior?
Yeah, we're gonna be a senior.
Okay. You have any major in mind in college?
It's either biomed or finance.
You know, many years ago, when I first got into Indiana, one Buddhist journalist somehow invited me to go to India to open a center. At that time, I told him, well, my purpose to come here to stay in the wood, to do meditation, not to stay in the city. That's why I didn't open another center over there. So, you go to temple, Anna temple every Sunday or no?
No, I don't go every Sunday. I have to watch my siblings and help out my family on
Okay.
weekends.
So, how you feel about the Buddhist truth? Is this important for your life or just one part of your life?
It's definitely a certain part of my life, because there's a lot of other parts of my life that I need to make sure is in order, so it's nothing falls apart. But Buddhism is something that I can go to and just like feel a bit more at ease with, not less responsibilities, but less stress to handle and manage. And it's just overall a nice and calm time to be with.
Okay. Thank you. So, you know, Tammy, I'm so proud of her. You know why? Because in April, she invited her buddies, her friends from manual school. And more than how many people around here?
More than
Yeah, please give her a big applause. Lately, I told her that yes, for them, they will move on in their life, right? I don't know how many years, but definitely we need leadership now. But you are in the position that to be the future leaders of our communities here. So, when you organize this kind of festivals, what you call?
It was a cultural event.
Okay. How you feel about that? How you feel that you brought your friends to the temple and everything for free for them, and how you feel about their direction? how they like and so forth. Tell them, share with them. Sorry. Over here with her, raise your hand. One only few, right? So you guys don't understand what I'm talking about. Explain to them what's happening.
So me and a couple of kids at my school, we hosted a cultural event here at the temple. So it's basically just explaining a bunch of the different Asian cultures here at the temple. And because it was a predominantly white community, it was really, a lot of people, it was the first time ever stepping into a temple or ever seeing all these different Asian cultures that are here. So we had a bunch of Asian cultures represented like Vietnam, China, Korea, Japan, Nepal, India, like all of them. And it was just a place to represent different cultures and for the people who don't know anything about it to learn more about it. So, they really liked it. We had a bunch of performances and it was a fashion show basically. So it was, those people had never seen something like it before. They really thought it was something that was really gorgeous and beautiful. They really told me afterwards that they want to come to the temple again and they really want to come see other events that we host here and even the Buddhist events that we host here.
So now we go to youth age, and I think at least, even in my class, at least 30% of my students are Asian students. So we diverse communities over there. So you feel comfortable to go to youth age, and especially in Houston, area so blessed, right? And share with them your views.
Well, as you guys know, Houston's a big city. There's always a community everywhere. So I go to U of H. It has pretty good diversity there. There's a lot of Asian culture there, Mexican, Hispanic culture, white culture, Muslim culture. There's a bunch of cultures there. What's so great about U of H is they always host multicultural events where they have this open field where probably like every week or every other week they'll have like different cultures come out, make food, do games and stuff, and you can win prizes. And it's an awesome opportunity for people just to go out and learn about other cultures, especially for us, since Asians love to represent their culture a lot. So every time that U of H does have their cultural events, all the Asian cultures always come out and always are trying to one-up everybody because they want to push their culture out. So yeah, I mean, I love it. It's a lot of culture to be represented. So yeah. Word.
So he took my class. How many guys? 4, 5. Is that my class?
3 or 5. 3 or 4. 4, yeah.
Maybe. So we go to UL. We have last group of Buddhist students over there, right? We have the last group of the BSA, right? Can you share that? Do you feel personally the Buddhist group is so important for you, or just how you like, and how about other friends at the BSA over there at UL? How do you feel? 2 questions. First for you, second one for them. What do you feel about?
So for myself, I've been going to this temple, or I've been with Ted since I was like 4 or 5. From
How are you now?
And I'm 22, so
For more
I
than
don't
20
know.
years.
I'll be almost 20 years.
Who've been with me for more than 10 years. More than 10 years. They know me well. Since you have the primitive base in the world. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
So, I wasn't one of like the first people, I guess, his first ever camp, because I was probably too young to attend camp. But I started coming to camp even when I was like in 5th grade or something, maybe 6th grade, somewhere around that age. So then, ever since then, I've been coming back every year. And so, other than these last couple of
the VSA that you will?
And then at my school we have a Vietnamese Student Association, or the VSA. And I mean, when I first joined, like when I first got to college, it was in 2019. So that was right before COVID happened anyway. So we didn't have that many events lined up that could interact with that many people before we all went to online and remote learning. But I think that overall, a lot of the people that I met in VSA, they didn't really come, they weren't associated with this temple. I think they may have been with other temples or like the Catholic Vietnamese church we have here. So I didn't know that many or couldn't connect to them as well. Also because they're just a little bit different personality than me, I think. So I did not mesh too well with them overall.
Thank you. Anderson, he came from Savannah, Georgia. You don't know where Savannah is?
It's where Elizabeth, Georgia.
Levi, Florida. Yeah, Anderson is so blessed. Buddha blessed him. That's why he here with us. Anderson, can you share this? Can you share what's the difference between down there and here? How you feel that you have some closeness here, or partners here, or whatever? Share with them about Buddhist truth and so forth, if you want.
Savannah, the Buddhist youth is pretty non-existent there. When I grew up, they had like a small house for Buddhists, like lay, but that was mainly for the older generation. And then they built a bigger temple, but even then it's still for the older people. Some kids come, but it's not like here where the same kids go all the time. So that's pretty
And here you show with the land team and then so forth. Share with them what, and you sometimes go to oil to get some instrument for them and so forth. And you went to the performers late at night. Wow.
Yeah, so I guess he's talking about River Lotus Line Dance, which is the team that's kind of associated with the temple, that pretty much helps them practice here and store their items. But the goal of River Lotus was to spread our culture of line dancing to the Louisville area, where some Vietnamese families wanting to do house blessings or store openings, grand openings, or even some like American folks want us to perform for them. So like World Fest was an example, or the zoo, the Louisville Zoo had us perform like 5 times. So that was the team spread the culture of the Vietnamese culture.
Thank you. Your name?
My name, I'm Khang.
Huh?
I'm Khang.
Ken?
Yeah.
Ken? How old are you?
14.
Okay. Too young?
Huh?
Too young or too old?
Too young or too old for what?
For
For life? Too young.
Okay, so you are a freshman, right?
No, I'm going to be a sophomore.
You are only sophomore. So you live in India, right?
Michigan.
No?
Michigan.
Oh. Alright, so you came here with us here this second time, right?
Yep.
So how was it up there? How you, would you go to temple over there or tell them that your route, the Buddhist route is so important to you, or how they life, and how could you come down here and so forth? Tell them.
Buddhism in our family is actually really big. It's important. We usually take maybe 2 or 3 trips around the U.S. to different states to go to different temples. But back at home, our temple, we currently don't have any tithe. So
Who's charging?
Who lives there?
No one.
No more,
It's
no
empty.
monk over there. It's empty.
It's just empty.
It's bitter.
You wanna come?
You guys so blessed. Go ahead, please.
But so now I think they're trying to like find a tie right now. But
So
right now,
here's your root now, right?
yeah.
Wow, give him a big applause, please. Thank you. So, before you leave, please make sure to get the phone number, the connection with the counselor. You got them? On the list?
have his phone number, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So special.
What else? What else? So you are the one who decided to come down here. Your parents, how first your parents told you, right? The first year, right?
Yeah.
And later on you came here and you know. So how? So during that year, during that long year, how affected your life? When as you consider yourself as a Buddhist,
How am I what?
how? I mean, then how? For last year, since the time that you came back, since the time you came here last summer up to now, right? During these periods of time, how you feel about your Buddhist roots?
I feel like it's definitely throughout the school year I've forgotten about it for a bit. I've always remembered, but I didn't like actively try to pursue or like learn more. We did plan trips to some of the temples though, but I did keep my morals. I tried to keep them straight. So, but definitely I am remembering a lot of the stuff that from last year. It's like a refresh in my mind.
Thank you. Let's go back to Costco. Yeah, the question is, we can sit there, Costco.
Okay.
Yeah, keep talking, that's okay. So, we talked this morning too. Yeah, Pastor, can you share, I know that your mom is really big influence on you, right? Or the Buddhism, right? So,
Yeah.
can you share about now you have a school, you have a job, right? How is Buddhism so important for you, or it's a part of your life and so forth?
I would say it's probably just like one part of my life because there's like a lot going on. Yeah, it's not something I really like focus like an hour every day for. It's more just like kind of in the background. Just kind of like maybe like sort of influencing my decisions. So it's just kind of like a guiding hand more so than an activity I do. So that's how I put it.
So your mom watched over your shoulder spiritually, she admired you. That's the main one, right?
Yeah, my mom's always with me.
Yeah. Thank you. Tony, you mind to, you are big brother here now. So can you tell? Yeah, please give a big applause. So in San Luis, right, we have a small community, right? Here too, right? Small community compared with Louisville, it is similar.
I think we have a lot of biodiversity in St. Louis.
Okay.
Predominantly, St. Louis is predominantly historically French, but I think we have a lot of diasporas of immigrants, and the biggest diaspora is probably like Middle Eastern or Muslim as a religion, and like Muslim as well. There are some Vietnamese people, but I think in St. Louis, a lot of them are either like Christian or Catholic, and only Vietnamese is but most of them is like either Buddhist or Catholic.
Actually, we go with you first before you throw to them. That's okay. You can speak before. That's okay. So I will focus on you first because you speak. That's okay. Give her a bit of applause, please. So Tina, so you've been here with us so many years, and there's a big gap like him, right? Probably one per year, right? You come here per year. Right? So you use that period of time, the gap, how Of course, I know your parents are a big factor for you to move on the Buddhist path. But personally, when you go out to study, when you go to school and so forth, how big impact is the Buddhist truth in your life or in your part of your life?
I don't think in high school it was a really big impact, but I think more so in college, it kind of impacted because in college is when you kind of try to find your identity, because my high school is really small, but during college is where I kind of got stronger with Buddhism, I think. I don't really talk to anybody about Buddhism. I think there's only one other person I met who's also Buddhist, but it was kind of a different, because we compared scriptures, but it was between Vietnamese Buddhism and then Sri Lankan Buddhism, so it was different, but just similar in some ways. But I don't really tell people first thing that I'm Buddhist. It's just doesn't really come up often.
So my point is that in different traditions, they require the believers or followers to come to church every Sunday so that they can instill the spiritual root, right? It's like you need to water the plant, you need to fertilize the plant. But for us, especially most of you, just once per year to come here. That's what I mean. Right? So, is that the real concern or does it matter? That's my question. That's real concern because even we have our center in St. Louis, but you go progressive course. Of course, you have connection directly with people over there, right? But talk about others too. Sometimes some of them, the ones that used to come here with you, but somehow they quit probably because they could not feel much connection again. Yeah.
You want me to speak?
Why? Is it, my point is that you had come here once per year. Is there any big gap that you don't have much support during those periods of time? Once 12 months, for example. How could you nourish your Buddhist roots during those gap? That's what I mean.
I think just being older, I think I've kind of gone through self, just learning about Buddhism. I know I don't go to temple as often, and when I do, it's mostly for helping the youth for events and stuff like that. I don't know. You just have to learn as much as you can, and then also just implement that in your life and in your daily thoughts, if that makes sense, and just have that connection. Because I know obviously for the younger kids, they might just see camp as just a time for or a week for hanging out with friends. But as you get older, you have the discussions that you have at camp, and then kind of realize that it is the main thing that ties us together. So I don't know. I guess you just have more conversations about it, and then just keep those in mind whenever you're in the temple.
So your parents probably the big factor. Your parents, your brothers probably are the big factor to you, right? Give you some kind of reinforcement, some kind of spiritual support. Is that right, or not much?
My parents kind of, since they're the ones that got us to go to temple, but now that we're older, they've just been a little bit more relaxed with it, but we still identify strongly as Buddhists. Sometimes we try to keep each other in check. We'll remind each other about compassion and stuff. But yeah.
Thank you. Now you ready to step out to your parents there, so that you can step into the society to be a mature gentleman. And my question is that how could you nourish that Buddhist group how could you help, especially your sister, whoever around you? And I know you feel strong when you say it.
The main thing is more like just don't forget where you come from. I think remembering like your parents too. Like most of us are born here in America, but our parents are not. So see them. They influenced me to go to temple, even though I didn't really like going to temple. So I didn't understand anything, so I often fall asleep in the walls when I was praying. I didn't like the smell of incense. I always like to stare at candles. I just like some fire, I guess. So I didn't really understand. And then as I grew up, I was able to find you, and then followed you for a while. And then for now, I don't go to temple or like Vietnamese school as much as I used to. So I often just yeah, you feel me? So generally I would practice what I learned while I was here throughout the whole year. So even if I only go to temple for like Legoland or anything like that, I try to keep in contact with Suko. I go visit the temple from time to time. It's just like I never forget my roots and then the people that helped me. So I go back there. I do volunteer work year round, whether that is cutting grass or helping out Suko with something. But I also found a big piece of my identity going to camp here, and it kind of changed me as a person to be more kind to each other and then kind to myself. So that helps me carry on throughout, like whether you're going to apply for a job or you're going to school, and practicing those types of things for myself helps me be a better person. So I still already have that type of Buddhism. So even though I don't go to temple that much, or I only go here once a year, I still have connections through all of you guys, and then also trying to remember to at least go back and try to get back to the community whenever I can, is how I try to just keep in contact with Buddhism.
So one more question for you too. So you ready to step into the new life? So you plan to nourish your Buddhist food further? I mean that you have anything in mind that you want to study, practice, and so forth, so that you can nourish that food and share with other children or younger generation, or what do you think?
I don't. Right now, I'm kind of in like a period where I don't really know exactly where I want to go with it. Like, I don't know right now how life is gonna be, because like I'm in a transition period. So once I try to get everything figured out, because like I'm kind of like I've been used to school for so long. So now that I don't have school, now I kind of like don't know what to do, and it's like getting a job is also it's competitive too as well. So I'm trying to focus on being an adult, because deep down I still want to be a little kid. So focusing on like being an adult and worrying about paying bills and like finding a place to stay and things like that. I'm still trying to figure that out and what I want to do with my life. But eventually I do want to reach a period where I can go revisit or like stay here for a while or something like that, and kind of like get a little bit deeper eventually. But like right now it's kind of like transitioning. I kind of have to like take some like try to focus on like my personal stuff right now.
Is that second year or third year? Third year. Okay, so you feel strong with your Buddhist food? Feel strong connection here, or you have strong connection with Anna temple? You go to Anna temple, right? You go to Anna temple whenever the big celebration only, right? Not what happened this time. a real discussion, right? So how is your Buddhist root? How is it important for your life or the part of your life?
I didn't really have like the ability to have moral to follow and try to implement the great teachings after the Papa and arrive, but like around here, I just kind of got listed something that I don't really much.
The one tip you by Parker, what's the name? Yes, what's the name? Huh? Caden? Alright. So second year or third year? Second one? How about you?
Go to the other way! Other way! Other way! Other way! I don't care, go to the other way!
So Caden, how old are you, Caden? So you will attend there or not frequently or only for New Year?
Only for like baby months.
Huh?
Only for baby months.
So you don't watch, right? Yeah, so probably your parents a big factor of influence on you, is that right? Or you just like you how many people you how important is Buddhist food for you?
I can't really hear you.
Huh?
I can't really hear you.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
I think it's sorry, the baby yes. Okay. So good. Over there, yeah, then you can quick. Yeah. So my question is too young.
Now make sure y'all go no straight.
You born. Okay. So you 14 now. Who below 15? Who are below 15? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So Caden, now you still young, right? So you here for a couple of times, right? This second time. So how do you feel about Buddhist food? Is it very important for you and part of your life, and you want to have connection with our Asian or with this your Buddhist here? You can turn around and tell them.
I don't really know how to consume this. I guess it's been like a big part of my life because my parents, like I grew up learning about it and like they made me go to temples and like pray and stuff. But usually like I don't really understand what's going on half the time. So I just kind of sit there. But like as I'm getting older, I feel like I'm learning more and more about Buddhism.
No, it's 9 o'clock. You like to put more or that's enough?
No.
More? Who say more? Who say that's enough?
It's on site.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough.
I'm feeling really tired tonight.
Not yet, be nice. Alright, go ahead, please stand up, please. Circle, please, circle, please. Circle. Yeah, go ahead. Circle, please.
Need to get water. Too much yelling, man.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, ready?
Okay, did you break the Almost an hour. Who touched my phone? Oh, no, I Jackson's
Even my mom here. It should be as a little baby too.
That's on game.
Even I'm mom. It's normal. Yeah, it's normal. It's our mom love us.
Cool.
No matter who we are.
Nice.
Y'all have come in.
He can be homeless.
Okay. Now let's come together. Let us send the best wish among ourselves. Let's start with Megan. She had a big smile. Okay, Megan, today please, Megan.
Oh, may I be happy.
May I be healthy.
May I be healthy.
May I be safe.
Laura. May our artist, Laura.
Oh, may my life be peaceful.
May my life be peaceful. May my life be safe. May my life be fun.
Okay. Sabrina, may everyone, including our parents, relatives, friends, and so forth.
May everyone have a peace of mind.
May everyone have peace of mind.
May everyone be compassionate.
May everyone be compassionate.
And may everyone be caring.
May everyone be caring.
I think Tony, everyone can chop your hand down. Tony, can you do my and so forth last night? Remember last night? Everyone hold your hand. Remember? You don't need to hold your hand to chop your hand down. You close your eyes and listen to Tony. You can send the best wish. May I, may we, and so for example, then you want to send the best wish to our retreat tonight. Go ahead, you can chop your hand down and close your hand, close your eyes. Go ahead, Tony. No, you don't need to repeat after him, just listen to him, listen to his wish. Go ahead.
You're safe. May our week be joyful. May our nights be fun. May we all be in good health. May our families be well. May our days be filled with joy with our friends. May we all be nice to each other. May we be kind to one another. May we be kind to ourselves. May we be happy-minded. May we be open-minded. May we respect one another. May we treat ourselves the way we want to treat others, which is very nice. May we be respectful of those who are older than us. May we help those who are younger than us. May we be a positive influence to those around us. And may we all have fun.
And we simply say thank you. Thank you.